Detroit is that the Jews who used to own it all completely let it go. So it's now all the most uneducated, hood black population you can imagine. Like, look at these homes. These were one-person homes at one point that got converted into condos where two families or more live. But I want you to see, like, just how fucking crazy this is. How this old, beautiful architecture is just, it's just trash. I mean, look at it. Considering no real work has ever been done to these buildings, the fact that they're all still standing is crazy. But just wait, I'm going to show you guys some really crazy shit here. And it's funny too, like, I guarantee most of these people have no idea that they're surrounded by this old world, I mean, mastery. This is the master masons built all this shit. Just wait. Like, look at this. Look at this hood, absolute hood that I'm in. It's disgusting to think that like this was a thriving, fucking beautiful street, beautiful neighborhood at one point. And instead it's just been destroyed. All of these places were turned into at least two-person homes. They throw an extra door up there, they do something like that, and they make these into these duplexes. But I mean, these duplexes are fucking, they're better than your house. Look at that shit. Can you imagine if you had that, just a one home family? Look how big that is. How many square foot do you think that is? And the upstairs, the top floor, the attic is livable. It's huge. We used to live in one of these. But hang on, we're gonna go along the main road here. So look at this. So then they take these old buildings here and they turn them into these, oh, here we are at these churches. Look at this. Oh, I gotta turn around. Look at this. Old world. This isn't even like the old world church. Look at the brickwork. Look at the like diagonal brickwork above the door. Look at the diagonal brickwork above the door. Look at this shit. Wait till we get a little bit further. Just wait. This shit's crazy. Look at it. And then they make these into projects. They break these up, and these are the fucking projects, dude. Don't get it twisted. This is not some place you want to be. No doubt. Look at this place. Look how beautiful this old world building is. And it's completely damaged. Look at the top of it. Look at the panels above the windows, the little arched windows with the tiles and the colored tiles and shit. Look at this. Look at this place. Look at how beautiful this place is. Who built this place back in old world fucking Detroit? This shit's nuts. It's nuts to think this is how it is. This whole thing just fascinates the hell out of me. Because a lot of it too is like, it'll be like abandoned shit, old abandoned, and it's like, isn't that land valuable? What's up, Karen? It's been a while. Hope you're doing all right. Isn't the land at the very least valuable? Don't the Jew owners care about the land? This is all Jews. All of it's Jews. All of this used to be owned by the Jews, and then they just said, fuck it, we're gonna move out to the suburbs. It's beautiful, but it's not. It's disgusting. It's the worst hood you can imagine. Look at this. Look at this old fucking building. Look at it with the columns and shit. But just wait. There's a couple more coming up that I can't wait for you guys to see. Look at this. The trains used to run through here. These old factories, all these old factories, these are all just abandoned old factories. You're telling me, like, no available. Nobody needs an old factory? Nobody. What is all this land doing? Who's supposed to occupy this land? They care about themselves, period. Oh yeah, clearly. The Jews are the worst people in the world. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. They moved all out of these houses, all out of this area, and then they look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this masterpiece. Look at this fucking masterpiece. Just look. Who built that? How'd they build all that? Look at that. Look at that sacred geometry right in the middle of that. All that glass and shit. Oh, it says 1950. Yeah, that was bid. That was built in 1950, all right. All up in there. Look at those columns up at the top. Look at how ornate that all is. See, the thing about doing this here is I got to keep looking over my shoulder because I'm in Detroit and I can't risk somebody walking up on my car. Look at that. The dome on the top. The cross that replaced whatever used to be at the top of that building. Look at this shit. Look at those old buildings. Look at all the old windows, how the old windows were all filled in. You see that shit? Oh, here's one of my favorites. These buildings are all over Detroit. These marble, these old school, like weird ass marble buildings that are like these solid. You couldn't drive through that with your car if you wanted to. They've boarded up the windows, but like, look at the top of that shit. Look how ornate that is. Those things are all over. Look, there's another one over there. You see it? They make these little cubes, and a lot of times they'll be banks or something like that because they're fucking solid. Look at the church over there. And of course, we're in the hood. I thought I heard it. I heard somebody bumping it. We got. Oh, they didn't play that part. We got Lazy and Tasha. That's the best. Tasha. But yeah, these Jews, they built all this up, or at least they founded it. They founded all this shit, and then they let it all go. They were like, fuck it. These niggers will live here. Oh, I'm supposed to turn here, but I see something we gotta go check out. They say, we'll let the niggers live here. We'll rent it to them for dirt cheap, and we won't fix anything. We won't do a goddamn thing for these niggers. And they'll live here and they'll be happy. They'll be grateful to live here because we won't let them live anywhere else. See, you guys don't get how it was here in Detroit. Literally, black people would get arrested for being on the wrong side of 8 Mile. Like, it's so racist out here. We have an area of Detroit called Mexicantown. Look at that shit. Look, this house is just sitting here. This shit's about to fall down. Somebody fucking lives in there. Holy shit, somebody was in there. Okay, so look at this. Look, the church just gotta have these churches here to keep these niggers in line. Gotta keep the niggers in line with the church. Don't worry, niggers. We're always watching. God's always watching. We're always watching you. Okay, so don't do anything you're not supposed to do. Stay in your little area, niggers. Keep all your drugs and all that. Keep it there, and we'll just, when we need them, we'll come get them. But you keep it all in your little area, niggers. I love how people get mad at me for saying that shit. Ooh. Playing in the background. I wish I could have my music playing, but then I get my feed gets blocked. You know, because that makes sense. Of course, we got our Church's Chicken. Got to keep them happy. Church's Chicken across the street from the liquor store. And that's all you're going to see. Over and over again. Wish is in the house. Look, so this person, oh, they just had their turn signal on. I was going to say they're planning on turning left here where there's no left turn. It's the hood, baby. This is as hood as it gets. Oh, man. I know you want to see more. I'll show you more. It's crazy to think about it because it's just like we are in the middle of the worst area of town. What are you doing, you jackass? Fucking drive. Oh, here comes the church. The old church just in the middle of fucking nowhere. Oh, this one has siding on it. This isn't, yeah, see, but it's not as spectacular. See how that's like older, old world, but not, look, again, just these square, ugly buildings that don't have the arches and that don't have the ornate structure. I always think it's crazy when you're talking old world buildings and you're looking at the tops of the buildings. That's always so spectacular because it's like, who were they trying to impress? You know, the top of the fucking building. Look at this. Look at that shit. Who built that? That's a school. Then there's another church. That's a church. Just a fucking square box. Thanks for the tour. Good to see you. Good to see Detroit. Detroit sucks. Detroit sucks. It was made to suck. Ew. Detroit is made. It's supposed to be the where you dump all the trash, and when you need them, they're there. And, you know, when you don't, they're out of sight, out of mind. Here comes another one of these corner buildings. Come on, people, tell me what I'm wrong about. Tell me how the Jews don't hate us. Tell me how the Jews don't control our lives and it's not one big Jewish conspiracy. Please, I'd love to hear it. Believe me, I realize how much power I'm giving these pieces of shit. Unfortunately, it's the truth. Look at that. And then they just filled it with those windows, huh? And then look at all this. This is all just dead. It's all just dead, old. Like these buildings, nobody's paying taxes on these buildings. Don't they have to pay taxes on this shit? What is this? This unmarked building. Totally unmarked. Don't know what it is. Oh, here's the wedding chapel. Because that's where I want to get married. Turning out divorces day after day. Look at this shit. They had to put those safety windows in because people just kept breaking in. But again, look at this. These buildings, you're telling me that building right in the middle there with the rusty gates and shit. You're telling me that somebody's not paying taxes on that building? Doesn't somebody have to pay taxes, property taxes on that shit? What here? Old school motel. I assume. I don't even fucking know. What do you think that is? Here's a church. Here's a church. Here's a... Who fucking knows? It's a fucking lockdown fortress is what it is. Sorry, bud. You know, I can't argue that just the Jew point. I know. Well, the Jew point is the point. The rest of the points don't matter. The rest of the points are distractions, and that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. I believe I can prove it all. I believe I can prove everything I say, given the opportunity. I believe that anybody that wants to can engage me on any sort of dialogue they want to, that we can, but there's going to be problems because like my version of proof is going to be different than your version of proof. When I prove how your thing is dumb and doesn't make sense, is that going to be enough proof for you? Like, I can't prove to you what it is. I can just prove what it isn't. Look at all this. Look at all this just death. Just death and destruction. Who owns these buildings? Look at that. Why does that building have at least 4 layers of brick on it, on the outside? What are they covering up? Look at that. That doesn't require property taxes? All this shit doesn't require property taxes? People don't have to pay this shit? Who owns it? I'd love to know who owns it, huh? Well, there's the funeral home. Nicest building in the block. Wishes in the house. Wishes turning. Look at. Oh, church, another church, another church. Promised Land Ministries. We got another. The barbershop. Gotta have the barbershops. All the barbershops, all the churches. Churches and barbershops. Churches, barbershops, churches. Churches, chicken. Barbershops, churches. Adult Day Center. Another church. There's a Tabernacle Church. What do you think this is? What do you think that is? What is this? That's a school right next to the old school. Look at above the windows. Can you guys see? Oh man, that is so ornate. I'm not even sure where the fuck I'm going anymore. Definitely didn't think I was traveling this direction. I have no idea where I am. Look at this shit. Look at these shitty little shit houses. Little fucking projects, man. Just straight up. You do not want to be here. This is just awful. Nobody should live in this type of scenario. And yet, this is where these are the guy just cut in front of the garbage. Like, these are the types of neighborhoods where black people live all over the country. And then they wonder, why don't black people just make their lives better? Why don't they just make it better? We did. Just make it better. Just make your life better. Literally, my head is on a swivel. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm just constantly looking in every direction just to make sure I'm not getting jacked. Chick out here selling water. Standing on the side of the road selling water. Big water business out here. I used to buy a lot of pills out here, boy. Look at all this. Look at this shit. Look at that. Just shit. It's just shit everywhere you look. Just shit. Can you imagine growing up here? Can you imagine? This is my little spot. I literally used to buy pills from, was it that number? I'm in the right spot. I think this is it, actually. I don't remember. You just can't imagine. Where's your hope? What hope do you have living out here? What hope could you possibly have living out here? It's just terrible. And the thing is, we're all like a few steps from living out here. You know, a couple bad decisions, a couple misfortune things happen, you know. Mom gets sick, dad gets sick, whatever it takes. It's just a couple of bad decisions. Misfortunate things. And you're in this shit. In the absolute shits. Okay, so here you go. So we're in all this shit, right? And now look at this motherfucker. Look at that shit. Who built that? Out of fucking stone. It looks like mortarless concrete. Look at that. Where'd they get all this? Where'd they get the concrete for it? Where'd they get all those big stones that they just fucking fit together like that? Those aren't all uniform stones. That's all been fit together. Look at that. The windows. Who built that shit? Out here in the middle of the fucking shits, man. I mean, that thing's obviously like the 1800s. So what did it look like out here in the 1800s? And actually, that shit's way older than the 1800s. Let's just be real. Look at that motherfucking house. Jesus. This is the shits. You wouldn't want to live here. You wouldn't want to visit here. People tell you they live out here. You go, ugh. Dude told me I just sold some guy some cards, and he was like, come out this way. If he wouldn't have said come out to my shop, I'd have been a hell of a lot more worried. He had a check cashing shop that was like a fortress, a fucking fortress. God, it's crazy. And again, I'm super proud to say, like, I'm proud of my anti-Semitism. Like, this is all Jew design. It's all designed like to be like this by the Jews. Look at this shit. Look at this. This was all built. This was all beautiful at one time. This was all like just a huge area of success and you know, promise and it's just strange. It's strange the more you look into the Tartaria stuff and you realize like something else is going on here. We're being lied to, and we all know. See, that's the thing, is we all know it. Everybody knows it. Everybody has that weird feeling deep down that you've been lied to, and you know, like how the Matrix says it and blah blah blah. It's all the same. We all feel that way. Just like we all know the Jews control everything and we're not allowed to talk about them, and pedophiles are in Hollywood, and we all know that shit, and yet we don't take it seriously. And it's the strangest shit. It's so, why how did we get engineered to be so pathetic? You know, clearly we were so amazing that we were able to build these incredible structures long before we had these cell phones. So what's why can't we still do that? Like, I'd love to talk to your Talk to your buddy who's a carpenter or your architect or whatever. Be like, hey, design one of those old school churches, one of the old school buildings, and then tell me how we could build it. Of course, it's so different now with trucks and car, vehicles to be able to transport the shit, power tools and stuff. But even with that, you end up finding like it takes us longer to have renovated it in 1986 than it took to build it back in 1784, and we built it in 2 years. Just the bullshit that they give us is just, it's insulting. Oh shit, a love boat alarm's going off to let me know the love boat's on. And I'm not home to watch it. I will be though. Oh, I will be. The love boat's my shit. Of course, I think I'm in the last season. I don't know. This season sucks. Can't wait till it restarts and plays all the old episodes again. Just my luck, that'll be today, and I'm missing the very first episode. Damn yous! That they initially didn't have the same cast. It's weird to see other people playing those roles. Guess I'm just not interesting enough to keep everyone's attention. Sorry. It's funny, people want to talk about, like, they love to talk about the old world stuff. And they want to talk about, like, who is the they? They is hiding it from us. They. But as soon as I'm like, they is the Jews, let's address they for who they are, and then we can overthrow them because we know who they are. Everybody's like, nah, you can't say that. Don't know. We just want to be like, what's happening? Oh, I wish I knew the truth. It's so different. I don't know. I can't. That song had a machine gun as like the music. Ridiculous. Oh, my wife hates me. Guys, come on. We have to be. Look at this building. This building's really impressive. And I'm not going to pass it. Damn it. So I was going next to it. Look at that old school fucking church. Somebody built that, right? The donkey people built it. Donkey Inc., as Lunch Break says. I really like Lunch Break. I hate how much of the video is nothing. Like right here. This is a really like famous, prominent intersection. Look at the building. Look at the stonework, the brickwork at the tops of these buildings and shit. Look at that. Somebody took the time to do that. This is the hood. You don't even understand how much of the hood this is. You wouldn't fucking waste your time and your effort to do this. Yeah, this person is in reverse. I was waiting for that. Look at here's another one of these buildings that's like so out of place. It's probably one of the first buildings in this little complex. Look at this building. Those walls are so fucking thick and ornate. The ornate structure around the building. Look at this. I mean, again, I can't stress to you guys how much of the hood this is. It's so out of place. Look at this. This just doesn't belong here. Look at, no one gives a shit out here enough to make a this. And yet, this shit's everywhere. Look, all this shit, it's old. I don't know, man. I just keep wondering what the fuck is going on. And it seems like the Tartaria, the reset stuff, that stuff seems to make sense, because what I'm supposed to think is nothing. Donkey Inc. built it. And Donkey Inc. didn't build all this shit. So then what? You know? Once we're past that point where I just don't buy that bullshit, I still have to answer the question. And when answers are provided that seem to make sense, it's not just have faith because if you don't, you get ridiculed. It's actually, if you believe this part, it's okay to ridicule you. So, you know, that seems to strengthen the argument even more to me. Whenever they tell us it's okay to ridicule somebody for what they're saying, you have to look at what they're saying, because especially in this society we live in, you're not allowed to ridicule anyone. Yet, if you don't believe we went to the moon, you can be ridiculed. If you don't believe in Jesus, you can be ridiculed. If you don't think the earth is a ball, you can be ridiculed. If you think there's a Jewish conspiracy, you can be ridiculed. It's nuts. Just in the middle of the hood. Big old fucking church with a steeple. Oh yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Another one. Big old church with a steeple in the hood. Look at that. They just built that. They just put those windows in there just for the artistic flair. What the fuck? Why not? The boss. We drove to Ohio, and just something as crazy as, like, we're driving through this old town and it's along this river, and you're looking and it's like, well, who built the retaining wall along this river? How did they, what concrete did they use in the water? You know, a lot of that stuff, that old school stuff, is that old school, you know, built-in water shit. You go, well, how are they building structures made of concrete in standing water back then? Don't know. Standard Habibi. You gotta give me a better deal next time, buddy. Fuck you. You got great deals. Shut up. You make money hand over fist. You're a check cashing place in the hood. All you do is make money. Look at this. All this shit. Crazy. We got a Mason Lodge right by my house. I should go film that shit one of these days. I really want to start being one of those First Amendment filmer guys, but I just... can't afford to push those buttons right now. that are here to see buildings. I gotta go start looking more of them. Fucker. Anyway, as always, I appreciate everyone for being here. We have to unify and fight against Israel, guys. The Jews are the bad guys. Be proud of yourself for acknowledging that. Don't be ashamed. You know, don't be tricked into saying something else or believing. You know that's the truth. When it comes to Hollywood, when it comes to the government, we all know it's totally controlled by Jews, and it's okay. We need to start saying so. Anyway, pedophiles, you can go fuck yourselves, kill yourselves, do all that good stuff. Kill yourself real hard, real. Kill yourself. Everybody else, have a great day.